Can I just say before we start, I have listened to these podcasts so many times on Spotify, and I always hear the music stop abruptly, and then there's just a noise, like kind of like a background noise, and I'm like, what is that? I've never known until now that it is your fan.
Hello. Also, it's usually the delay itself is because sometimes like other people's videos will load at different times. So that's why like sometimes
Fair.
if you notice on the video versions, I unmute before Lana does, and it's because my video plays a little bit faster than hers does. It's just those things I've noticed, like having done it now for like a year and a half. Because we've literally been doing this for a year and a half.
Wow.
It's
Time
wild.
flies.
It feels like 4 years, genuinely. But anyway, hola y bienvenidos a La Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the tea and the real in reality. I saved it. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. Thank you, David, very much. I forgot that you only listen to it, so you never get the...
I've never seen that until
It's every
now.
video. It's every video now, and I love it.
I've always wondered what the emphasis for gay was. So now
gay.
It makes sense.
I started doing it, and then I think it was Will started copying me, and then it just caught on, which I love. I am drinking a second batch of the exact same thing I just drank, because guess what? We're filming episode 3 and 4 back to back.
What?
So I made some more.
Wow.
But Lana and I are filming different days.
Right.
Well,
it's a different day.
I didn't get the memo to change my shirt, so.
You didn't get the memo to change time zones.
Yes, we're after midnight.
It's definitely.
Oh, shit. That's
so it's a whole new day.
It is still Friday for me.
It's
What?
never Friday. It was just... It's Thursday.
Yeah, now it's Thursday. It was Wednesday.
These
come out on Friday.
Where my brain is currently. Lana, please take it away. God help me. I'm just gonna go. Honestly, I'm just gonna go.
It's just this kind of day. Come back, Logan. But
come back,
go,
child.
It's just that kind of day. But hello, I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea. I loves me some tea per. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up because I love that. And I did not go and get another Sunkiss because I have to go to sleep at some point today. And too much caffeine will not let me do that. So I'm just going to drink the water part of your tea. Just regular water.
Yep.
Because hydration and clear skin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much hydrated. Not going to talk about the skin. Okay, moving along.
We're not going to talk about the skin. Nope.
Move along.
Thank you, StreamYard Beauty Filter.
And I am David Healy. Insert quirky catchphrase here. I don't have one yet, but if I come around enough, I'm sure I'll get one.
I was going to say the father of the cup.
Ooh.
The godfather of the cup. There we go. Done.
The godfather.
The daddy of the cup.
Because movies.
Exactly. I love movies.
I know you, David Healy.
But
daddy, but okay.
I am drinking water, and it's totally not the same water I had in the last one.
No, not at all.
It's different.
You know what? Sometimes we film the same franchise's episodes back to back. Y'all just have to deal with it.
Might as well.
But we're on a new week, a new episode, the same day for me, not the same day for Lana or David. So this is episode 4 of Drag Race España, season 3. It is the scripted acting challenge. Ooh. You know, I don't ever love these challenges. And I was not head over heels in love with this one, but I enjoyed it.
It had hills and valleys.
I was not into it. I'm not gonna lie. I watched it and I was kind of like, I guess, sure. We're doing a scripted challenge, and they're going to do a horror movie at that. I'm not a horror movie
Ooh,
fan, so
I
It's
love
only the second ever horror movie based challenge on a Drag Race franchise. So for that, I'm
Oh, wow.
happy.
sure.
The other one was season 6. Drag Me to Hell, I think, unless I'm forgetting one.
You could be right. Episode 3, right?
Episode 3 of season 6. Yeah,
Yep.
that's where your
Vivacious.
father darn sucks in hell. And then the winner and the queen that was eliminated acted in the same part in different skits.
Vivacious.
Icon Vivacious. I love her.
R.I.P. I mean, well, in that.
Well,
challenge.
she's not dead yet.
In that challenge. Already.
Yeah. And Darian's back on TV shortly. Go check out our All-Stars 8 cast assessment. But yes, we come back into the workroom and we have lost Chanel, and I am sad.
Yeah, I was sad too, and I really think this could have been a fun challenge for her. So it's pretty unfortunate.
Oh, I think she would have just absolutely demolished this challenge, and I'm mad about it.
Yeah, I would love to see her. Onyx would have been so fun. I know that was last season, but could you imagine Onyx in this?
Absolutely. Well, it is what it is. And we go to the next day in the workroom. Supreme walks in looking very good.
Oh, yeah. I said to my roommates, I'm like, she reminds me of this very specific background I used to use in PowerPoint. Look at the outfit.
Oh my God, yes.
A PowerPoint background I used to use all the time.
Someone said computer screensaver, and I was like, absolutely. It looks like the loading screen for Internet Explorer. Like, it really did. I'm like, okay, go off, Werk. I mean, sure.
I apparently did not pay that much attention to the outfit.
I guess not. It really stood out to me.
Supreme always kills it in the look department, whether they are in or out of drag. Honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
So we get... I don't think I would call this a mini challenge. I would call this an activity.
Yes.
Reminiscent of season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race. The queens have to choose their groups for the main maxi challenge by choosing a balloon and then popping it against a pit crew. Usually ass. Sometimes it was a dick. Sometimes it was they bit the balloon.
I found this.
Wait, that was All Stars 7, wasn't it?
They also did it on All Stars.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I remember Jinx wanted to be the bottom.
Yep, that is true. I can't think of this kind of challenge and not think of Georges, and also not think of Maddie Morphosis.
Oh yes,
because they made the straight man hump another straight man. Actually,
you know what? I went to a private Christian college. It happens a lot.
Good. Great. I love to hear that, honestly.
I was just like, this is what we're doing? Okay.
Yes.
Maybe because I'm not used to it, because I don't watch it a lot. I'm just like, okay.
I like that at least everybody tried to get creative with it at some point. They're like, we can't all just do it the exact same way. So they just all kept trying to do different things. I was a little disappointed with Pakita's like saving room for Christ with the large gap and only popping with hands.
I'm like,
okay. Everybody is not horny.
True.
And touchy-feely and comfortable being very, So if we could just like,
absolutely.
Let's save some room for the Holy Ghost. Save some room for the Holy Ghost and pop the nails. And I mean, she did it differently from everybody else. So, all right.
Yeah.
True.
I don't judge people on their level of comfortability.
Fair. I just wanted some fireworks there with Pakita because I do have a little crush on Pakita.
But then if you do,
A
Ooh.
little
if you
bit.
do, just know you have to save some room for the Holy Ghost.
Yes, and for my wife.
Mm-hmm. Because I will.
Don't do it around me.
Mm.
Anyway, so that chooses our teams for the challenge. We have the pink team, which was Hornella, Kelly, Chadora, and Vania. The yellow team, which was Bestiah, Pakita, and Pitita. And the blue team, which is Clover, Macarena, and Visa, for our Maxi challenge, which is acting in parodies of famous Spanish horror films.
So when I saw the groups going into this episode, I had kind of determined, I think my favorites are the three people who were the tops last episode: Bestiah, Pakita, Pitita. So
And then they end up on the same team.
I saw them all on the same team, and I'm like, oh, they're all on the same team. Wait, this is an acting challenge. They're all on the same team. I got very scared because I don't necessarily see those three being the biggest campus actors out there. But we'll get
Shocker.
to that. We'll get to that.
Shocker. Yeah, so they're giving out the roles. There are some people that don't want to do roles with a lot of lines, and there are some people that want to take the leading roles. And especially in that yellow group, Bestiah, Pakita, Pitita, no one really wants to take that Angela role. But it's established very quickly, Pakita did take the Chanel part in the dance challenge. So it only seems fair that, we give her the part that she wants here. And then Pitita ends up just saying, hey, I'll take it. It's fine. I'll make it work. And oh boy, does she.
She sure does. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler, but whatever. If you didn't watch the episode, go watch the episode and then come back and watch this.
Right.
Like, hello? The drama is not really present. Not much drama occurs other than the Macarena trying to just be the Macarena.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to make the Macarena more of a dramatic centerpiece than she really is.
I agree.
A lot of it seems pretty forced in these episodes. She seems fine.
I agree with you.
Yeah. But are you all familiar with the three films that they were parodying?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay, so I've seen two of them. I've seen The Orphanage, that has Nicole Kidman. No. I'm not sure if they have a Spanish. I said The Orphanage. The Others, which has Nicole Kidman. I'm not sure if there's a Spanish version of The Others.
It seems like it, based on the fact that it was Spanish horror films.
Okay. But also The Orphanage I have seen. That's Guillermo del Toro. That's a very good film. I have not seen Werk, but I've heard great things about it. It also has an American version called Quarantine. So, and both of them are very popular. But I do love some horror.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I've heard of Quarantine.
Okay.
When I saw Werk, I thought it was like the Blair Witch Project type of movie. I was very like, oh, is that like that? But then it was nothing like that. So
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
I think it is supposed to be similar in the fact that it's like shot on a camera. But like I said, I haven't seen it, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But
yeah, I'm not a horror movie person, so I would probably never have seen any of those movies, and I have not, and I probably won't. So,
well, I do need to get you to watch one horror movie because I got Lana a Valentine's Day gift, and it was kind of a horror movie.
It is. I do have. It took a minute for me to get a TV to hook up my DVD player, but I got it, and my DVD player is hooked up, so I will watch it.
Okay, it's Nope, by the way.
Yes, Nope, by the way. I've not watched it.
Nope.
It's in there. It's here. And one day I'm going to be brave enough to actually watch it. Maybe in the daytime with people in the house. I will not be watching it this week because my roommate is not here this week. And so I will not be watching it while I'm by myself.
Fair.
That's fair.
But okay.
That's fair and valid and understandable for sure.
I love feeling
yeah, of course. Yes, of course. I hate horror movies, so I'm going to validate any feelings you have for or against it, quite frankly. But so we go to filming with Supreme and our guest judge for the week, Paco Plaza, who is a very famous Spanish director. I was like, that's really cool. And I honestly thought he was a great director and judge.
He was very fair and he was very honest about his opinions of what, and he was really directing them, which I appreciate. He didn't phone it in or anything. It was very much, he was in the directions, telling them what to do, blocking them, making sure that they gave a good performance, the best that they could possibly give. So I liked him. I liked him as a guest judge and a director.
You could tell that he had a point to try to bring out the best in everybody, which we don't always see that with the directors in these type of challenges. Sometimes you can tell certain directors, in parentheses, Michel Visage, is trying to find flaws and find good television moments and not necessarily give the best advice. So I really appreciated what he did. He kind of reminded me of the woman that was a director.
All-Star 7.
Yes.
I don't remember her name either, but she was. I'm looking it up because she deserves that.
Yes, and she had directed something that I had seen. Oh wait, there was a movie she directed that I knew, but I can't remember what it is now.
Janixa Bravo is her name.
Okay. Do you know what she's known for directing?
Let's Google it. Because I don't.
Gotta love this live research. Thanks to my curiosity.
Zola.
That was a fun film.
Yeah.
Based on a true Twitter thread.
I am familiar
yes.
with that movie. I have not seen it, but I am familiar. Yeah. Was there anything from the filming that stood out to either of you specifically?
Well, I think there was a little bit of misdirection here and there. There were some people that I was like, should I be worried about them? Like, for some reason, I'll be honest, I sometimes zone in and out while watching, but for some reason I was pretty worried for Pitita. I wasn't sure if she was really nailing it, and I could see her being in the bottom. I was fingers crossed that she wouldn't be.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
Nope. Not even close.
No. Actually, as far away as possible.
As far away from the bottom two as you physically could go. So, any thoughts on the recordings, Lana?
Let's jump into the looks.
Okay.
Honestly,
yeah.
I think that's what we
are
at this point.
There was an emotional moment in the workroom, and I don't remember what it was.
Oh, that one sad thing. Yes. It was very sad and very... Oh, wasn't it something with Visa?
Oh, it was Visa's father. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we get the story of Visa's father. Because then Runway.
Because that's when I thought,
the fire.
This is where Visa goes home.
I was like, is Visa going home? I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, Visa's going home. No, I can't lose Visa. Right. We don't.
Don't worry, we don't.
Spoiler again, shocker.
We don't.
That story.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just.
Yeah. I was like, wow. To have a loss is already hard enough, but to have a loss where it's tragic and it's like that, it's like, whew, that's so tough. But the fact that she is willing and open and letting herself be vulnerable enough to tell the story, number one, on television in
Mhm.
front of how many people, who knows, and then use that part of the story for her runway. I'm just like, that's therapy. That's very therapeutic. I'm sure she felt it was very therapeutic for her to do that, and I love that. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
It was emotional though. I definitely was like, oh wow, shed a tear. I
Yeah.
don't like shedding tears too much watching Drag Race, because it's like you shouldn't be shedding tears watching Drag Race as much. It's not. This is a fun show. This is a
It
great
happens
fun.
every now and then.
But
It
every now
does,
and
yeah.
again, it has its moments, and you like, ooh, child, fight back, fight back. But yeah, this is one of those moments. It was good. But
Yeah. Now we can talk about
now
the
we'll
look.
go into the runway. We'll have the
Yeah.
looks.
Category is I'm trying to get the Spanish word for
My
it.
worst me. Oh.
Mi peor yo. My worst me. Correct. That is what it is. Thank you, David Healy.
Yeah.
And first up on the runway is Bestiah.
Yeah, I love this.
Same.
I thought it was so creative. Really, this was a fun runway theme. I wonder what their exact prompt was, because
It couldn't have been.
yeah, it seems almost like monster or horror, like some sort of horror type of thing, but that wasn't even consistent all the way through. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. We've seen a lot of these type of heads lately on International Drag Race.
Haven't we?
We have. This is not the best head I've seen.
No.
But I really like what she's doing with it. And the whole time I'm like, how is she holding that up with her mouth? Because that looks a little heavy. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. This was a success.
I have one critique with this look, and it's not even that major. But when she walked the runway at first, I didn't realize that what was in the tongue was a head. And so, honestly, if the head had just been tilted a little bit forward, that's all I needed.
Okay.
Genuinely. Like, otherwise, it's a perfect look.
Right.
I love this look. It's giving me very horror Gene Simmons from Kiss look. Like,
oh my God,
very like exaggerated Gene Simmons. The tongue with the head is like, ugh. I kind of love this, and I didn't know if I would, but I kind of love this.
And we're getting interesting angular movements.
Right. With the
thank you. It has been literally months since we've
That's
said
for
that
you,
on
Eris.
That stupid bitch. Anyway, he ain't gonna watch this. It's fine.
Oh.
Just facts are facts, America and world.
Mm-hmm.
Scores for Bestiah.
Let me give Bestiah an 88.
Oh, wow.
I will give Bestiah an 82.
I'm going to give it a 93. Next is Clover.
Come on, Clover.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to say. And I'm gonna do this for my sis, my good sis. I understood this look. And I understood why she did this look. And I'm sorry the judges didn't understand her look. But for every Black woman and every Black girl, we understand why this is her worst me look. The fact of the matter is, Black hair for Black women is such an issue. And it's a $1 billion business for a reason in the Black community. Billion. Now, hear what I said. $1 billion business. Yep. And when you're dealing with natural hair and you're dealing with combs and afros and blowouts and wash day and hair day is like your worst nightmare for some people. It's the worst. It's horrible. And having people who don't know how to do your hair, I understand this look. When it walked down the runway, I was like, I get it. I get it. I understand it. I love it. I like it. The dress, sure, it's shredded. It's all the pins and the hair clips, and that is a hair, like she was giving the story. And I'm sorry that they didn't understand it, but I understood it and I liked it. I was here for this look. I was living for this look. I got it. I got it. I love it. I don't care what nobody say, they ain't gonna change my mind. I love this look. And the rotating, come on now. I got it.
I didn't even realize she was Afro-Latina.
I knew it the second she walked in that thing in the workroom for the first
I
day.
guess,
like,
honestly, that's probably, it's because I'm white. Honestly, I'm going to say that's probably why I didn't notice. But I'm very happy that I know now. I'm very happy that we are getting that representation now 2 seasons in a row on Drag Race España. I really, really do love that. This was perfection for me as well. Like everything you said, Lana, you could say better than I ever would, honestly. Like just the fact that she thought of this, the dress itself with the hand over the boobs, it's just like my favorite part of this whole thing. The tights, the shoes, the whole thing is just so wonderful. And I'm very happy that this made the stage of Drag Race España.
Yeah, I think this is a clear step in the right direction as far as her fashion senses go. This is definitely one of her best things, if not her best thing that she's worn on the runway. It almost like feels like it's straight out of like a 80s or early 90s Spike Lee film.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
I could see that character like back when his films were a little bit less on the realism and a bit cartoonish, but not in a kiddish way. I don't even know how to describe it. But yeah, I really like this whole vibe I'm getting from her.
I think what you meant when his movies were more like guerrilla warfare type of movies where he would just go shoot them, and it wasn't a lot of production value behind it. It was just like straight shoot it. This is what it is. School Days kind of what's the movie? She's Gotta Have It style. Yeah, that kind of just a raw type of movie. It wasn't very polished. It wasn't very produced. It was just
and colors that pop.
Like, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nobody wore dull colors in his films early on.
No. Yeah. So yeah, I got it. Even with the burned arms and legs, I get it because we burn ourselves with the curling irons and the straighteners. The perms
it's very smart.
It was a very smart. I got the look. I understood that look when she walked the runway. I was like, I get it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Let me give her an 81.
My cup runneth over for this perfect look. Yes. I can't give her anything less than that. I would be a hypocrite to turn around and give her anything less than 100. And I don't care if the judges got it or not. I got it.
It's overflowing for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
I got it. I love her.
I did too.
I love
She's
her.
Great. Hornella Gongora.
I like this.
Yeah.
This is what I've been waiting to see from someone like Hornella. This was great. The face piece, the reveal with the rose. Oh, and then her talking about HIV so openly. I'm just like, yes. We need more things like this on Drag Race. We need more things like Clover on these. We need more people like Clover on these international franchises. And we need people like Hornella who are open to talking about their experiences and who they are and where they come from and what they live with. And like, it's just, it was masterful. I love this look.
Yeah, the pictures don't even do it just like so many of these had reveals and they told a story as they walked down the runway. Like this is definitely one of my favorite runway weeks that we've had in España so far. Yeah,
this might be one of my favorite overall España runways, period.
Honestly.
Yeah, I really wish we could show video because I think this is so much better on the runway. I know the copyright. I hate that. But I really wish we could show the movement and the reveal because I think that told the story of this outfit. It looks great, stunning in this picture, but the storytelling and taking off that mask and the roses coming out, and like they would talk about how she felt jailed in and why jail is her worst fear. It's so beautiful. I just really love this look, and she looks stunning.
Mm-hmm.
I love the spikes on the head too, by the way. So good.
It's so good.
It's so good. It was good.
Yeah.
I will give this a 98.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 76.
My cup is full.
Okay.
I really enjoy it.
Y'all are making me sound like the bad guy here.
I mean, yeah.
No, don't worry. That's not going to last long.
I wish you had a picture of what this looked like before she did her reveal.
I don't, because it looks better like this.
Oh yeah, it looks way better like this. But I was like, as soon as she
For
came out,
our audio only audiences, we are discussing Kelly Roller.
sorry,
I forget to do that sometimes.
how quickly I forget people like me who just listen on Spotify.
Literally, people like David.
Yeah, she came out with just basically like black on black and nothing to it. And I was like, what are you doing, Kelly? And then she did this reveal and okay, yeah, it looks better. But it's still just, it isn't it. It isn't it. I wanted more, girl.
It was like a trash bag type all black. It just, I don't even know how to describe that. It just wasn't good. And then when she took it off, I was like, okay. Like they said, still not good, but better than before, but still not good. It's even
the wig.
Even the outfit itself, the gold little leotard thingy.
I don't get it.
Yeah, how is this her worst her?
Well, I think the black Alaska inspired from the reveal runway and All Stars 2 trash bag situation is supposed to be like depression.
Okay.
I think from what she said on the runway, and then this is her after depression. But if the runway is my worst you, why are we not doing a full look in the depression? I want to see the full look in the depression.
Yeah.
I want to see dark. I want to see dark, vampy, depressed Kelly Roller. I think that would have been something so different for her that we hadn't seen from her yet in her package. And I think that would have been really cool. And instead, she comes out in basically the same thing she's worn the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, she literally could have did all black, like the black outfit that she came out in. Revealed, it would have been a black leotard with black hair.
That would have been great.
Goth makeup to just say, "This is my worst me." Is when I'm depressed. It's the worst part of me. I don't like it, but it is what it is. It's a part of who I am, and I have to work hard to get through this. But like you're showing the runway is the worst to me, but you're showing yourself after you getting through the depression. That's your best you. So it's not hitting the theme, right?
I will say, I have no idea if this is her intention, but sometimes the worst you when you're depressed is when you have to put up a front that you're not depressed. So maybe revealing that colorful, girly, happy side when maybe she's not really feeling that way inside. Maybe that's her worst her. And if that was her intention, then that's pretty cool. And I respect that.
But it's too much to explain, and it should be something obvious for this. I think your worst me needs to be obvious.
True.
You shouldn't have to explain a runway look. A runway look should be able to speak on its own, and this does not.
And I hope that if she's struggling with depression, that nothing about this experience has made it worse for her.
Right. Agreed.
And let me make it very clear. I adore her. I think she's a lovely human. I think she's a great drag artist. I just unfortunately have not been impressed with the package that she brought to Drag Race. But I do think she's incredibly talented, and that has been shown tenfold on the season.
She just doesn't feel like she was fully prepared. So
it doesn't feel like it. No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I honestly, when I saw the cast, I saw her as a person that could potentially be like, and you're going to think I'm crazy, be like a Brooklyn Heights type.
I don't
Like
think you're crazy for that.
Okay, she gave me that aura. Like, I got the confidence from her. It just was never realized. It didn't come to fruition like I might have expected it to.
And maybe it will.
Maybe.
Right.
We still have a whole comeback situation to deal with. So
True.
Who knows?
Who knows?
The scores for Kelly Roller.
I'm going to give her 33.
29.
31, because that's right in the middle.
I knew it. My soul told me Logan is going to say 31.
I was going to say 30, so 31 is fine with me. The Macarena recreating the look she was eliminated in on season 1.
The first thing I said as soon as she walked out is, this would be my look if I paid a professional to make it for me.
And she did.
She did. And it still is not amazing.
It's still not good.
But like, I do like the colors. I really like the contrast there between.
I liked the colors when she did it on season 1 too. What about it?
True. I'm on her. Yeah. It just, I don't think she needed, like, I get it. It was maybe your one thing on the show and you want to pay homage to it somehow. I don't think you needed to. Like, I'm sure there's worse things about you than the look you wore when you were eliminated.
See, I disagree. I actually think it was incredibly smart for her to do this. Because it is like my worst. If you're looking at the Macarena in a Drag Race sense, her worst was that episode when she went home. Her wig flew off.
Yeah.
She didn't know the words to her lip sync. Like, I definitely agree with you that I think there could have been other interpretations that she could have done. But I think it's really smart, and I actually applaud her for kind of reliving that and taking that and reimagining it. Is it a perfect look now? No, but I do think it's astronomically better than what she did on season 1.
Very true.
I just honestly, I wish the shoulder situation had just been smaller. That's really all I need.
Since I didn't see her in season 1. I mean, once they showed the picture, I was like, okay, I get it. I think it was a smart move for her. It was smart gameplay, because it's just still a game, to have the judges actually be like, oh, we can relive this moment with you and show you how far you've come since then. And it was like a very, nostalgia moment for them as well as for her. So it was good gameplay, because that's something that they're going to recognize. Like, okay, we'll give her points for going back to where she was the worst on this show and upgrading herself. It was smart. I think that thing on the shoulder is way too big. I think the tulle in the front of the dress is still a little wonky looking with it.
The more I'm looking at it, it's winning me over a little bit.
It's just, I get it. I understand. I think if she would took that glove off, would have done better without the glove.
I like the glove.
I don't know.
I like the shape of the glove.
I feel like something needs to be edited, but I'm not sure exactly what needs to be edited. But something needs.
Maybe it's the legging.
Maybe.
I like the legging. I
like the legging with the. Maybe it's the shoe, because I don't think that shoe matches that blue.
For me, I think one thing, it's very minor, but that first layer of tulle, like right at the top there, it just feels like it's kind of blocking my view.
Sure, yeah, actually.
Cut off that one strip.
One layer. Yeah, I feel like I said, just a little edit. I think the shoe for me doesn't match the purplish blue in the
I
dress.
don't like those together.
I don't
The
like
color
them together.
combination together.
I
at
think
least.
the only reason it works for me is because the lighting behind her is the same color as the shoe. But when it's next to the dress and I'm not looking at the lighting, it drives me crazy.
I do also want to say, and I meant to say it in our episode 3 recap, I do appreciate that she is finally painting in her own skin color. Her makeup has drastically improved from the first 2 episodes of the season.
She was painting too dark before or too light?
Dark.
Okay.
Too dark.
Oh, yeah. She was painting darker than Clover.
Well, I've been confused about what her natural skin tone is. Which, okay, I don't want to speculate too much, but what I knew her to be before is not what I've been getting lately, and it's a little confusing, but I am going to trust
that's why
that
I wanted to bring,
she's not appropriating.
No, it's definitely not anymore. It was...
I'll say at the very beginning, her first 2 episodes, she was teetering the line of being maybe a little bit, could be considered blackfacing a little. Like she was teetering the line. But I think like with this episode and the last episode, it's starting to level out more, and it's because she's not pale. That's the thing. She's not pale, but she's not as dark as her makeup was at the beginning. I think her tan is wearing off from, I think she got really real good spray tan when she got there.
That would make sense. Okay.
She got a real good spray tan for that confessional.
Really good spray tan on the first episode. Like when she walked in the room, I was like, "Oh, is she?" And then like showed me a picture of her before. I was like, "Oh, she's not."
Yes. So you have the same confusion I've been having.
Yeah, it was because
we all did. Yeah,
I had to, because they mentioned it, and like y'all know I don't watch it, so I didn't know what she looked like prior to. And so seeing the before pictures and then what the first episode picture, I was like, oh, but it wasn't offensive. It was just, oh girl, you got a really good spray tan, like a really good deep spray tan.
And there's no way really to paint around that to not have your body look just darker than your face.
Good point.
Like that's, and but it's better now, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
Who knew we would spend so much time on this look?
I'm not surprised. Scores.
I'm actually gonna give her a 60, which is higher than I thought I would.
I will give her 62.
60 also?
I'm gonna give her a 70.
62.
62. Okay.
And a 70.
Okay.
Not horrible, but yeah.
Pakita pre the reveal.
Do we have a post reveal?
No.
No. Okay.
I do remember being underwhelmed with this overall. Just because I think she set the bar for herself so high. So my expectations are sitting there, and when she doesn't live up to it, it's going to be a letdown. And this was a letdown for me.
In my heart of hearts, I truly believe this is the reason she didn't win the challenge.
I could see that. Yeah. Like
I
find myself wanting to like it and finding excuses to like it. But if I'm being real, it's average for me. And that's not good enough for her.
It's too much. It's a little bit too much. Like you got the lace with the layered lace over the skirt. You have the back part with the ruffles and the train. You got the bust part with the feathers coming out with the things on the. It was just a bit too much, and then the shoes and the platforms and the high. It was just a bit too much. I feel like if she would have just not had that black lace overlay, it would have, I don't know. It was just a little bit too much. And like we say, this is somebody who we got put on the front runner list, someone who has delivered time after time after time. And this one just wasn't up to the standards of what we're used to seeing from her. So yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a letdown. It wasn't the worst look, but it wasn't the best look for her.
Right.
But when she took the hair off, I was like, oh.
Do we remember what her story was behind this and why it is her worst?
Dress.
Dress?
I believe stress. It had to do with the stress of keeping up this like perfect persona, and then that's why the wig comes off and you get the bald cap.
Oh, right.
Which I will say, my biggest critique of this look is that the bald cap literally was lifting in the back to the point where it was noticeable.
Okay, I did not notice that.
It was, I clocked it immediately as soon as she turned around. It literally was like flapping off of her neck, almost like she didn't have time to finish it.
Okay.
And when all of the hair on the bald cap that you're looking at is on the back, I saw it immediately. And it feels, I hate saying this about Pakita, it feels sloppy.
I mean, maybe she's literally showing her worst self this week.
And if the story was more like Drag Race contestant going under the stress of like trying to keep up a perfect persona, then I would understand it and I wouldn't fault it. That's not what she's giving here. This is giving Pretty Princess has a mental breakdown. And I do love that idea. The execution just was not there for me.
You know, say the idea is there, but the execution just lacked.
It was non-existent. The execution was non-existent.
No, I wouldn't say that. Like I really didn't think that the bald cap was noticeable. But I wasn't looking for that.
Sure.
So I don't know. Let me give her a 52.
I would probably give her a 50.
It's a 50, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Chadora.
I didn't get it.
I was so confused because she slowly revealed the head of her baby, and I did not know that was a baby. And I'm like, why did she pull out her boob? And then I saw that, oh, it's a baby. And I guess she's going for some sort of like Mother Mary type of look here.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like religious figure inspired, but the point was that I get from what she was saying, the point was that she was lamenting over the fact that she hasn't started a family, and she's like in her mid 30s, I think, if I remember right.
Wow, so old, right, Lana?
Right.
She's 38.
Oh, that's my age.
So she's your age,
she
and
hasn't started a family yet.
Fun fact: she is the third oldest person on this cast.
Wow, I love having an older cast.
We got a queen over 40, and then she went home first.
Sadly.
Hold on, where's the banner? We love Maria.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good things about that. Like, I do kind of like the wig. I don't know if I like it with this look, though. I feel like a darker wig would have been better with this look, especially having kind of that like cream dress and that I don't even know what color her wig is, but they're just a little too close. I'd like to see more contrast there. But I mean, what's there to say about this type of garment that's just like flowy, like robe? There's not much to say.
I was like, why is she wearing a robe? That's it. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the look. I'm not a fan of the look. I can tolerate the hair, but that's about it.
I'll be honest, she's been my biggest disappointment so far this season, even with her having a win, though I don't think she was the one who
It should have
deserved
been
it.
Clover's win, but whatever.
Whatever.
But when I saw her in the cast, I was like, okay, she's giving me some sort of combination of Ben de la Creme and Tammy Brown. And I just have not gotten either of those
See,
so far.
It's interesting for me, and I don't know if you know this or not, David. She's actually drag sisters with Chorisa May.
Oh, really?
They're sisters. So with that knowledge, I get her aesthetic a little bit more.
Yeah.
I will say, I think this garment is good. I don't get it for the category.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I land on it.
I think she just wanted to wear it. She's like, how can I
Probably.
fit this? So, but yeah, let me go ahead and give it a 43.
40.
40. Pitita.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty clever. And I thought like she really took like a bad quality that she could think of and was like, how can I make this fashion? So I think she really did a good job of expressing what she was going for here with the smoking. She like, you look at her, you see her as a cigarette, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. She killed it for me.
She looks
Even
fabulous.
that, I didn't even notice how much her hair looks like smoke right now. Like
She is the perfect level of camp and glamour. And I honestly don't think I've seen someone with that high of a level of like camp and glamour mixed, honestly, since Manila Luzon.
yeah.
That's who she reminds me the most of like other Drag Race queens. And obviously every queen is unique. But I get I get the same feelings about Pitita that I do with Manila. And it just like, this is so smart. It's so perfectly done, down to the shoe being the same color as like the absolute tip of a cigarette, going all the way down, the hair, the reveal, perfect.
That is a curvy cigarette.
I was about
Her
to say,
shape.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say she has the perfect shape for the cigarette, and like even because she's still slender but the curve of her hips is like, okay, got it, bam. Now I don't know if those are hip pads or whatever, or if that's just her hips. Either way it go, I want to be snatched and cinched at the waist like that with my hips like that, because that's kind of fire. But then the slenderness of the torso and like her from the neck to her waist, it's just so perfect. And then to have the black burnt end with at the neckline, it's so beautiful. And the hair, I can't with the smoke rising, billowing from the tip. This look right here is perfection. It simply is perfection.
Even her face kind of gives me like, oh, this is the after effects of being a smoker.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like, many details.
The caved in cheek. It's like you know, when you smoke, you just it's just so good.
If she does not make the finale of the season, I would be genuinely shocked.
Yeah.
She would have to have had a really, really bad week for them to send her home.
And I'm not saying anything based off of this challenge. Next week is Snatch Game, so we will see what happens.
Ooh, yes. Fingers crossed.
We do usually lose a fashion queen
we don't need
Snatch.
Don't let a I'm a queen situation happen.
Please, for the love of God. Anyway, this is overflowing.
Yeah. Perfect.
I'm gonna give this a 98.
Wow.
I'm 100. I can't. The hair, perfection.
Perfect. Vania.
I wasn't mad with this look.
This is where I was like, so the prompt they gave them was not my worst me.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, no.
I thought it was like monsters when I saw
I thought
this.
they like the prop was something that's like it scares me, something that I'm scared of, because that's what this look gave me. Like I'm scared of spiders, so I'm going to conquer my fear by being a spider.
Yeah,
but it's not a bad look.
It's not
I
a bad
enjoy it.
look. I don't enjoy it.
Okay.
It kind of gives me like a stereotypical Party City type of like Halloween look. And I wanted more like we have so many of these queens like giving I don't know, metaphorical looks here, and hers is just so on the nose. Like, you're afraid of spiders? Is that it?
Yeah.
And it's I don't even, and that's being afraid of something isn't even the worst you. I don't know. It's cheap, Elvira.
Ooh.
I mean, this is the thing. I get it. I get exactly what you're saying. I hear it. I see it. It's definitely not the most glamorous, but it's not awful. I think it's done
No,
well.
it's not awful.
I think it's done well. It's very on the nose of you're afraid of spiders. Get it. But I think that spider web is a gorgeous piece to the dress. The dress is fitting her well. I even like the ruffles at the bottom, and I'm not a ruffle at the bottom type of girl. I really don't care for ruffles at the bottom of dresses, but I think this one is done well, and with the spiders in the ruffles and the spiders all over. I think the placement of all the spiders are well, and then her hair with the wig traipsing down the back into the spider web. I love that. I kind of like it. It's not as glamorous as some people, and it's not as artsy and make you think and kind of great, but the color is amazing, her makeup is amazing, her hair is amazing, and I think she pulled it off.
50.
Yeah. Oh.
Very quick 50.
Well, all right then.
Well, okay.
I guess I didn't need to say anything else.
Oh,
Sure, go ahead, Logan.
It's fine. No, give your score, Lana. It's fine. I didn't have anything else to say.
I will give it a 70.
75.
okay.
Wasn't mad at it.
No.
I was mad at this.
Pizza.
I was mad at this.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a very bad way. I was mad at this. I didn't like it at all.
Are you
Really?
kidding? I can't tell if you're joking.
Oh no, I'm very serious. I did not like this.
Oh my gosh.
Why? I'm genuinely curious.
I don't like. I mean, I get it's scary, horrid. Supposed to be scary.
This is one that really doesn't. The picture doesn't do it justice. It was the whole story and the transition that really sold it for me. So
I can't remember the transition.
So it was like the China. It was like the dress looked like a China piece, and then it revealed to the burn victim.
Oh wait. Okay. Hold on.
yeah, I was like, I don't think
like,
you're remembering
Lana.
correctly.
Wait.
This is Visa. Yes.
This is Visa's.
This is Visa.
This picture is not doing it.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let me stop. I like the runway.
Mhm.
I like the reveal. This picture isn't doing me what I needed to give right now, but the transition, the story sold me. And then the way the transition from the doll into this, I liked. Now, just sitting here looking at the dress, I'm like, I get what it's supposed to be. I don't really like the dress, but I understand now.
Yeah, this is not supposed to be a pretty look.
Right.
So, yeah, I completely.
That's. I'm going to turn down my brightness. Hold on. That is what it started as.
Right. I remember that. Okay. Yep. Then never mind. I like it.
Great. I'm happy to hear that because David and I were both just like, I'm sorry. What the fuck did you say, Lana?
I mean,
I was expecting a Simon Cowell. I don't like it. I
You're
love
entitled
it.
to your opinion, obviously. But like, it would have been a wrong opinion.
No,
No,
well, and this, like, once again, just looking at it how it is, this is not a pretty look, and it wasn't supposed to be, right? It was really the story, and it was an impactful story.
Yes.
And like, she killed it for me again on the run. Like, I'm just kind of blown away by her style, and I knew she would be good, but I didn't know she would be this good with the fashion and the storytelling. So I just really love Visa.
She reminds me so much, especially in her journey. And David, I don't know if you'll agree with me. It reminds me of Ugasio.
Okay.
Where like she's doing very well, but me too. But she's doing very well, and she just keeps getting overlooked a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say honestly,
Ugasio at least won the first challenge.
True. But it's giving me, like I said it in our last episode, it's giving me the overlooked queen of the season.
Mm-hmm. I think she's not a Drag Race personality per se, and that's such a key element that you have to have. Like I think about Honey Davenport, who just wasn't a character, and they need that for me. So I really hope she can open up even more and really deliver a character that will be worth keeping for a while.
There are just a lot of Drag Race queens that are just great drag queens and maybe just not as great at Drag Race.
Right.
And I'm starting to think, unfortunately, that Visa is kind of falling into that category.
But she's so good at certain aspects of Drag Race.
But she's so good at drag. Yeah. That's the thing. She's good at drag. She just maybe isn't the best at the race.
Yep.
And that's fine.
Race?
And I'm glad. Race? Not the two white people on this podcast screaming race.
I cannot tell. Just aside, I watched that video so many times when it first came out, and just died laughing every time Peppermint. Race.
I love Peppermint. Race. Okay. Anyway, Lana will show you the video after this or sometime. But scores for Visa.
I'm gonna tie this with Pitita. This is a 98 for me.
I agree with that.
I'll match that.
398s?
Yep. 98s across the board. Sure. I think then we can all agree our favorite look was...
It was Pitita.
Pitita! Yeah. I thought we would all say that in unison.
Yes. Sorry. Pitita favorite look, but story delivery, I really liked Visa as well. So
I agree.
They killed it.
Pitita and Visa for me, and then my third. Oh, my third would be Hornella.
Mine would be Clover.
Oh yeah. I don't remember. Did anybody write down my scores? Because
no.
I think
I only
Hornella
do that
was
for the
up
ball.
there. Hornella, and I think I did probably give Clover my third highest score because I think I gave her like 85.
Let us know in the comments below. So we have a top 3 of Pitita and Pakita again. This time featuring the Macarena. Overall, I do think they were the 3 best performances in the challenge.
I agree. I do think Bestiah also was very good with the role she had. Yeah. That whole team, like I was blown away with how entertaining they were. They were definitely the highlight as a whole. Of course, Macarena did great too. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I would say as well, I was really, I was blown away a little bit by Hornella as well. I think she's someone that like, had there been a 4th person in the top, I honestly think it could have and maybe should have been Hornella.
Yes, I do have thoughts on her. I will say she did not give me what I expected from her. I was expecting a really campy performance. She gave a good acting performance. It was not over the top. Kelly was over the top. Right. Kelly was over the top. And honestly, I did not think Kelly was bad.
we'll talk about the bottom two because maybe we all will disagree on things, but
yeah, we might.
So, so we get our winner 2 weeks in a row. It's Pitita.
I didn't expect that.
I would agree with it though.
I agree with it, taking into account runway. For me, I've always been under the impression that winners of the challenges are winners of the challenges,
Sure.
and not the runway. Like, we've seen people who've had great runways be eliminated. Cam Hugh, but for me,
Ugasio.
yeah, I think Pakita did the best over. Like, Pakita's transformation and commitment was just so captivating. But Pitita also like had humor. Like, I really like it stood out to me when she was being dragged behind, and her just looking down. But like, I really thought I thought this was her week, and really, I guess that runway might have been the deal breaker here.
I think it was. Lana, do you agree with the win?
Yeah, I do. Honestly, and I'm gonna be honest and very transparent. I did not pay attention to the challenge part of the show because I was tired, and I had a lot. I was doing other things in the process of watching the show, so I didn't pay much attention to the challenge part. So I don't remember performances. So I can't talk about that.
Great.
But I think based on runway, I agree with Pitita winning based on the runway.
I think if we're going challenge and runway, I agree with Pitita. However, I actually would say that I think the best in the challenge for me was the Macarena.
Oh, really?
I really enjoyed what Macarena did. She brought up the energy of that entire scene that was otherwise, just.
Are you sure it wasn't just in comparison to the other two on her team? Like, she just looked that much better?
No, I think the acting itself was significantly better.
I guess so. There were times, though, that I felt like she wasn't giving anybody the space to hold their own. She was just kind of taking advantage of the fact that she might have had more timid people on her team.
I think the other thing with that too is I think both Visa and Clover had the opportunity in their scenes to have that space. And neither one of them stepped up to the plate in the way that I personally feel like they could have and should have. And I think the back half of that skit with Macarena doing as well as she did, for me, I think it was the best overall performance. But if you factor in runway, I definitely would agree with Pakita winning.
Pitita.
Pakita, revisionist history. No, I agree with Pitita winning. I liked what Macarena did in the performance.
Okay, I did too. Yeah, like, I think it was a pretty obvious top three. But I don't know. For me, it felt like the third out of 4 weeks where Pakita is second place. These queens aren't talking about it like the season 15 queens, but she's been so close to getting a win 3 times now. And I'm hoping she gets one soon.
I mean, her track record is high, low, high, high.
Yeah.
She has not won, she has not been safe, and she has not been at the bottom. So she has not been at the extremes.
Right. And Bestiah has also had 2 highs and a win.
Yeah. So. I just absolutely love Pitita's track record currently because it's safe, win, win.
Yeah.
I'm like, work. So we got a bottom 3 of Clover, Kelly, and Visa, which I would agree with.
I would not.
Oh.
Yes. I would not have had Kelly in the bottom. I thought she did a good enough job. Like, what do I expect from these challenges? I expect them to overact. I expect them to be like over the top and just giving 110%. And I felt like for the most part, she did that. I just think it was an easy enough challenge that if you're done with Kelly, you could get rid of her. Am I mad that she's gone? No. No. Yeah, I do agree with Visa and Clover based on the challenge being down there. I would have had one of the people from the first group in the bottom three.
Which one?
I can't see it. There are two people that faded, not Hornella, not Kelly, not Vania. Who was the other one?
Chadora was the daughter.
Yes. She faded so much into the background for me. So I would have had her down there. Okay. Vania also would have been pretty low for me, like if they had a bottom four.
Okay. Lana? So if we're just basing this strictly on the challenge, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, I guess, deserve to be in the bottom three. If this was just on the challenge.
Which is kind of how the series, the whole franchise does it for the most part.
Yeah.
Which, okay. Because
then Runway is the tiebreaker between kind of who wins and who's in the bottom two. It's kind of how it goes.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. Then fine. I'm like,
Lana's like, if that's the case, then I don't know because I didn't pay attention.
I mean, it's like I don't really. Yeah, I mean, I saw enough to know that I do agree with the bottom three. I think Kelly possibly maybe could have avoided I think she was on the bubble. Like you could have not put her in the bottom three; it would have been okay.
It was her time, though.
Or you could have put her in the bottom three, and it would have been okay.
Right.
So I'm not too mad at the bottom three. I hate Clover being in the bottom three, but her performance and the performance was just not it. Yep. So I get it, and I can't even be mad. Like, oh, they just coming after her. No, it was her performance was bad.
Right. And same like Visa, like killed it on that runway, but definitely didn't do well in the challenge.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. For me, I would have kept the same bottom three. And my reasoning for keeping Kelly there over somebody else is that for me, I watched the skits twice because I wanted to get I wanted the first view, obviously, and then I wanted to go back and knowing what happens a little bit. I felt like Kelly was completely disconnected from anybody else on her team acting. And acting in a group scene is about working with your group. And I felt like Chadora and Vania did a very acting together in the little bit that they were in. And I personally felt like Kelly was a little bit disconnected from even her scenes with Hornella. And if she's going to be the main character in this skit, if you're going to be disconnected from everybody else in the scene, that's an issue.
That's just, I'm just saying, that's how I felt about the Macarena.
Fair. No, I get that for sure.
She felt like she was in her own world. So
I felt though with Macarena that she had a connection with both Visa and Clover, even though neither of them were doing all that well. She gave them, for me at least, she still gave them the space to act when she was in the scene with them, and they just didn't know what to do to take advantage of that. So all of the Macarena kind of filled in and sort of had to compensate a little bit for the team.
Okay.
But that's just how I feel.
I see what you're saying, but yeah. And like I said, she still deserved top three for me. My nitpicks are saying she didn't deserve to win.
And my nitpicks are saying that Kelly should have been in the bottom three. So there we go. We do get a bottom two of Kelly and Clover. I think it should have been Clover and Visa. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I don't think Kelly should have been in the bottom two.
Based on the challenge, yes.
And
but then honestly,
you factor in the runway, and it's like, how much does the runway play into everything? Right. Because of the three looks, She was the best.
Visa, right.
Visa was the best.
Yeah, if we're going to go with adding in the runway with, now that we got to bottom 3 because of challenge, now we have to put in the runway. And in that instance, Visa obviously outsold Kelly in the bottom on the runway. So Visa definitely should have not been in that bottom. She should have made it to the bottom 2. I think this is the fair bottom 2, although Clover's look was great also.
Yes.
So it's like,
though they didn't seem to get it fully.
They didn't get Clover's look, which,
because they're not black.
I was about to say, which
that doesn't stop all of us from appreciating.
I mean,
fair, but
appreciating is one thing, understanding is another thing. Because like, if you did not understand her story, then you just think she just looks sloppy with big hair and combs in her hair. You don't understand the story behind it. And that's unfortunate, but that's life for Black women and people of color all over. If people don't understand it and all of your judges are non-you, and they don't understand you, then they can't get you and they won't judge you fairly based on, because they don't understand. And that's a human. We don't judge things fairly if we don't understand things. I don't understand some of the looks, so they got a lower score for me. That's just what we do. They didn't understand her, so I get it, but I'm like, that we need to change some of the representation on the judging panel as well.
I agree. And I have to remind you, David, because you watched last season, you saw the treatment of Diamante Mary Brown.
I did.
So none of what's happening to Clover surprises me whatsoever.
True.
For context, Lana, there was a queen originally from the Dominican Republic on last season of España. One of my absolute favorite queens to come from España. I adore Diamante. They really did not get her at all.
No, and it wasn't just the judges. She was pretty mistreated by a few of her fellow contestants. I don't think as bad as what we saw in Italia last season.
I could not agree with you more.
Oh, that was kind of disgusting, especially with Priscilla.
Don't get me started on Priscilla, because we will be here until the cows come home. Anyway,
I want to hear about Priscilla after.
Oh, you sure will.
Okay.
So
she's the host of Italia.
I'll explain the whole. Okay. If you know, you know. Lana, I'll explain later. But they lip sync to "Ay Mama" by Rigoberto Bandini, and I was thrilled because I explained a little bit in our episode 3 coverage when we were talking about Chanel and talking about Eurovision. But Rigoberto Bandini, I believe, was the runner-up from the Spanish national selection in 2022 that Chanel won, that propelled her to getting 3rd at Eurovision 2022 for Spain. Rigoberto Bandini's song was actually the fan favorite among Spanish fans. I believe she won the Spanish fan vote during the national selection, and then missed out on the actual contest, obviously, because Chanel won across the board. This is a favorite song of fellow Cup panelist Sam DMV, aka Sam Mufferty, aka Anissa Long. I'm not doing their whole intro because it's long. But this was their favorite song, actually, when we covered the Spanish national selection in 2022. So, and I love this song too. So I was very excited to hear this song. And then immediately went, oh no, they set up Kelly by putting the biological woman in the bottom 2 for a song about tits. So,
I mean, honestly, I was not upset to see Clover having to lip sync, because that's what I've been wanting to see. I said I want to see Clover lip sync because that's what she is known for. A lot of people
that's what she said she's known for.
She's
exactly.
A lip sync assassin is what she likes to call herself. And so I'm like, let's see if you go assassinate this, Kelly Rowland with your lip sync. And I was excited to see her. But I was also like, we saw Kelly lip sync before And Kelly is good
Mhm.
at what she does in lip syncing. And so I was like, this is going to be a good lip sync. I felt like this could be a good one, a very competitive lip sync between the two of them. And it was
And it
really
was.
good. It was really
It was
good.
a really great lip
It
sync.
was, and we're not used to seeing that with España because the bar's
God, no, we're
high
not.
Oh
with lip
my.
syncs. That's just not what their specialty is.
It's
there,
not
I
what the
guess.
drag scene there. That's not what they do.
Yeah.
But there are pockets of just sunshine throughout the lip syncs of España. I think of Fuego from last season. I think of Cuando Tu Vas from season 1, which was my favorite lip sync of that entire year. This just made me so happy, and then watching the performance, they both killed it. Clover for me definitively won.
Mhm.
But I think Kelly stood a great chance and really, really did very, very well against her.
Yeah.
And I'm always a little worried when someone walks in episode 1 saying they're a lip sync assassin. I believe it now, Clover. I didn't doubt you.
Yeah.
But I believe it now.
In the Eurovision challenge too. So I kind of knew what to expect, and I was like, as soon as they revealed who the bottom two were, I was like, sorry, Kelly, I think you're gonna go.
I mean, we did get a little snippet of how good Clover was during the talent show because I thought her talent show performance was good. I was
It definitely
like,
was.
She was really good, and
she was
like,
high safe for sure.
Yeah, she was really good. So I was like, we're getting a snippet, but when you have to lip sync for your life and your back is against the wall, something else happens. The switch hits, and you got to either turn it on or you go home. And she turned it on, and it was just the moment she took off her wig. It was like, first of all, let me get rid of this, and let me do it because I'm about to kill it. And she was nervous about them shoes, but you couldn't tell it. Because baby girl said, flip that
she
ship
said,
down, like, ship back heck. I was like, she about to go. And she went. Once that beat kicked in, she went. Kelly went. Like she flipping in skates. She's splitting in them shoes. They killed it. They gave a really good. I think this was my favorite lip sync up until this point.
Agreed.
Because I think all the lip syncs, I was like,
The first one was pretty good.
Yeah, the first one was good. This was competitive.
Yes.
I do think Clover broke a few of the rules of things you shouldn't do in lip syncs, but she made them work. Like, she took off her wig, which is frowned upon.
Well, this isn't the US. RuPaul's not here.
True.
Supreme doesn't care about that.
No,
shit,
she
but I know
clearly doesn't. Remember Samantha?
oh boy, I remember Samantha Valentine's. Don't you worry.
I was saying if they were gonna get on Clover taking off her wig.
I know. I kind of wish she had like a different wig on underneath. Like, that would have been fun.
I mean, but what could you put up under all that?
Afropuff.
Afropuff. She could have had a long, flowy wig underneath that too.
That's so hot and
probably
heavy. Hot.
People suffer.
Drag is hot. Drag is hot.
And she also took off all her clothes too.
I'm about to say if she's gonna do
that, she got naked, and I said,
I got scared when she took off that. She had her tassel, and she took one off, and was like, oh, she's
a multi-tassel reveal. I'm sorry,
it was another tassel. But I'm like, if they was gonna ding her for that, then they surely should have took Chuchi a long time.
No, I didn't like that.
They don't really do that on España, so it's not a worry. Yeah,
I'm about to say they don't care.
Also, I want to say just as a fun fact about the song, in the performance when they were at the national selection, in the last chorus where it's like the da da, I don't know the words unfortunately, but the da da da, the last time they do that, it then just reveals, and it's a giant globe where the globe itself is just a boob. It's very entertaining to look at. It's just a giant tit.
Well, then that was very fitting for what Clover did.
I'm about to say the song's about tits.
Clover is a Eurovision fan, as I can tell, and she knows the things, and she won the lip sync. Rightfully so. It's not time to see her go yet,
right.
And we lose Kelly Roller in a very emotional elimination for Supreme, and I was confused as to why that was the case. And then I remembered, I'm pretty sure Supreme is from Malaga, which is also where Kelly is from.
So we have a front runner to come back.
Honestly, of the 4 people eliminated thus far, I think the person with the best shot, honestly, is Kelly. Especially if it's some sort of lip sync situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kelly stands the best shot so far.
It's hard to speculate when we have no. By the way, was that Maria in the challenge?
Yes.
Okay, we didn't.
It was Maria. That. I was like, yes, Maria.
Because they said that, and I was like, wait, is that really her? And
it was.
It was like, no, and I'm like,
I
think it is.
No, it was actually Maria. I was like, Werk. I love that. It feels very Dahlia Sin broccoli.
Yeah, but I was like, is that weird if she's like technically still in the competition?
Well, she had no speaking lines.
True.
Yeah, they don't know that.
True. She got to size up her competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She got to see who was left. Well, I presume they're all probably like in another house. You move out of the one house, you go to the other house. I don't know. Who
knows? Yeah.
The logistics of España. I would like to know more. But next week is Snatch Game.
Oof, I'm nervous.
You know, Snatch Game is not a pinnacle of Drag Race España usually.
No.
So I'm intrigued. I'm excited to know pretty much no one that they're impersonating and still probably laugh.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because there's at least a couple of them that don't live in Spain, correct? I know Visa and
Visa is the only one, I believe. I believe she lives in Spain now, but is from Mexico.
Okay.
The other one was Maria, who is from Venezuela, but lives in Barcelona. Oh no, it just says Venezuela.
Okay.
On the fandom wiki, it just says Venezuela, and then for Visa, it literally just says Mexico. I'm like, thanks.
Because I was wondering if we might get some people we might know that might be more international celebrities in the Latinx world.
I think if we get anybody, it'll be from Visa.
Okay.
That's who I'm expecting.
I'm not sure if she's gonna pick a Spanish celebrity.
She might pick a Spanish celebrity. She might pick a Mexican celebrity. Who knows? We'll find out next week. So
we shall.
Thank you so much for joining us for yet another episode. Before we go, for the first time in a very long time, I have a draft update.
Ooh.
So my banner's not ready, so I'm not going to do a banner. But
my draft is down to one person. I only have Pakita because I've lost Kelly, Maria, and Chanel.
So as a reminder, this was done between myself, Will, and Mr. Talented. My draft team was originally Maria. I then inherited the Macarena, and then I also had Drag Chuchi, and I currently have Vania and Hornella. Team Will consists of Clover, Pitita, Pakita, and Chanel, but now not Chanel anymore. And Mr. Talented's team consisted of Kelly Roller, Visa, Bestiah, and Chadora. So we have all lost at least one person. And oh boy, I'm doing very bad this season.
Not worse than me.
I have 12 points currently. Second place is Mr. Talented with 23 points. And Will is currently leading the draft with 26 points. So, in case you were wondering, from that lost episode that never went up on the channel because it got corrupted somehow. Now, thank you so much for joining us. Do the YouTube things because you're on YouTube. You know how to do the YouTube things, so just do them.
Dislike
follow us
twice.
on Twitter. Dislike twice. Hit all the buttons. Follow us on Twitter. Do the things with the things and the things. Buy some merch. And cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Goodbye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So long. Farewell.
Bye now.
Adios.
Adios.
Hasta la vista.